The Eight of Wands also talks about messages and communication. Could be text, and that may have something to do with the situation. Now, your partner's view of you. Welcome back to your video. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. As we get started, the intentions were set on a love spread. This could be for a relationship, twin flame, situationship, just maybe a person that will cross your mind. There could be like a current situation, may explain some things that could have happened in the past, and feel free, if and when it resonates too, give the thumbs up. It's like a boost of energy for the channel, and I totally appreciate it. If it does not resonate, stay to the end of the video, and if it doesn't, check the video tab for something that may be more in alignment with your current reality. Now, as we get started, we have your view of your partner, the partner's views of you, your needs, your partner's needs, the current state of the relationship, the path you would like to see your relationship follow is here. Sorry about that. The path that your partner would like to see the relationship follow, an aspect of the relationship to consider, and let me make sure. Okay. And then the outcome. Okay. So it's just like, oh, usually because of the table, it's like there would be like 6 cards here, 4 cards there, but I had to be creative. So we will go ahead and get started. Your view of your partner. Ooh. We have the 8 of Wands. This person could be distant, and or it represents travel, swiftness, speed, action. This person may have a lot of energy, move fast, do a lot. And that makes sense. The 8 of Wands also talks about messages and communication. Could be text, and that may have something to do with the situation. Now, your partner's view of you. Ooh, that's not bad. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You're definitely responsible. Someone who maybe takes care of a lot or a lot of people. I don't know if you have children, but, of course, up until this point, may have been a single parent, and or there is a child involved. It doesn't have to be. You're very analytical. I know the Queen of Pentacles could be an administrator, like project manager, an assistant of some sort. So maybe a good team player. Okay. A good key component. Now, the shadow energy of being seen as the Queen of Pentacles, I would just be careful about opportunists, or anyone that could have codependencies, as they see you as someone that maybe are contractual. Materials could be involved. So she's not really materialistic, but it's like a person that sees you as that. Either you have the personality or the markup of like the Queen of Pentacles from material sense, money, finance. And that's not the typical thing that like most guys look for. So it's just like if a guy sees you in that light, I don't know. Okay. Another beauty or benefit of the Queen of Pentacles is she works with nature, herbs, could be a very down to earth person, very grounded, very cool, collected. And that's super cool. Like you have balance, all right? Or maybe just be responsible. So either way it goes, that's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to your needs, we have the Death card. Now, Scorpio is a very interesting energy to have as far as like needs. Now, it could talk about spirituality, so you could be looking for a soulmate. It also talks about transformations, so something may need to change or stop, like end immediately. Wherever Scorpio could fall as your chart, in your chart. And it also talks about dealing with the matters directly at hand. So, as far as you're concerned, for some of you, there is a matter that needs to be dealt with. Okay. Now, as far as their needs, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords points to security, because sometimes in shadow it's like insecure. It also talks about like listening and learning, to be teachable. There could be lessons to learn involved, especially when there are pentacles, and or this person may want to be heard. There's some questions that need to be answered, and here we are again with these messages. Now, if there were messages to an ex or some sort of communication or something we thought was like dead, and there's some snooping and some prying and what's going on either side, that could be within the situation. And feel free to interchange the roles, as the cross watcher could be here. Now, the activities around whatever's going on is causing someone concerns, and verbal communication with action. So it's like someone in this situation wants like the action and the words to transform, change, be dealt with, match, okay, or something to that degree. Now, the current state of the relationship is here. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about that. We have the King of Pentacles. That isn't bad. The King of Pentacles would represent dominance, for one. So if they see you as the Queen of Pentacles, it's like in alignment with what's going on, or does have potential for whatever their goal is in the end, right? Because this could be a person you're just dating and you're just talking to, or you guys are friends, and it's like, even if you're not together now, or if they're not ready now, or if there's turbulence now, like in the end, the state of the relationship is somewhat in alignment with their perspective of you. So good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Your perspective may be a little bit different, or like what you need and want from the situation is a little different from where it's at. And there may be comfort, you know, or something along those lines from the other person. So if something needs to end or change, it could be more so over here. But the King of Pentacles is one that has learned lessons in the past, and whatever works for him works for him. So he continues to do that because that's where he finds his success. And if this is a relationship that requires like compromise, change, you know, I'm not sure if the current state of the relationship is showing flexibility for that. And with the Pentacles, they are very practical people. However, action, stimulation, I don't know. It's never just this super on fire chemistry infused, you know, like sexual thing, which is cool, which is practical, but it could interfere with other things within the relationship, like your desires, how you communicate with each other, the balance of the feminine energy and the masculine energy and things of that nature. Because wisdom, lessons learned, and someone having more experience or just is giving the relationship like the advice that it needs to be productive, someone else would say, you know, I've been through this and I've done this, and you know, it may not work that way, or it should work like this. And we'll see how that goes. Okay. Now, in the sixth card, the path you would like to see your relationship follow. All right. We have, the Ace of Swords. So when we talked about communication, when we talked about a new perspective, a breath of fresh air, the truth, okay? And this is dominant. This is like given from swords, so it represents like the soul and spirit. And then over here, the needs. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's still kind of like, your partner's what was it? Your partner's needs, and then like the path you would like to see the relationship follow are at least within the same family or group, if that makes sense. And I think that that's pretty cool. Like, that's admirable, right? Someone may want the truth. And spirit is like, no, that is not admirable. I feel that it's close. Well, we have communication when we have a messenger. We have messages. We also have like, Aquarian energy sometimes could be like very analytical, asking a lot of questions. And even though there's one of you, or even the relationship itself, that has the answers within it, somebody needs answers, and it's like they're kind of like right in front of you, and that could be for the other person. So there's that. Now, if there's communication with an ex, or somebody needs to be cut off, there's that. The impact of mental clarity, new ideas, or a realization of long-held goals on the emotional plane affecting the relationship or creativity. So someone's end game may not be currently in alignment with the other's end game, okay? So, see, there may be some... okay, so there's one, I don't know if I like the way that intuitively, like, part of it is coming off, and this may not be for everyone. Someone that may or may not have shown commitment to this situation, kind of expecting it to weather the storm is, I don't want to say it's toxic, but that's like I expect you to defend this relationship, defend me, regardless of whatever is not working, whatever has happened, whatever I did. It's kind of like defend me or stand up for me, or go against what everybody else is telling you, right? Like, go against these 6 wands. So whatever you've become aware of, this awakening that somebody has had, this clarity, this new perspective, go against that and just kind of like support me, support the idea, support this. And that is, from my perspective, possibly not the best idea. And now something could have even happened recently on the spiritual plane or in the physical, because I'm seeing like 7 wands. This is the 7th card, and we just had 7-7. Now 77 could be the one, and it also could be like someone we think that is the one, and it's more of something to learn from. These situations could often spark, not spark, but they can identify contractual or karmic situations. Now, you can have karma and dharma, don't get me wrong, but it's like we're going to learn something through this, whether we are together or not. There's a big lesson to come of this. Asserting your point of view, standing by what you value, and never compromise or settle for less. And that's like weird that if this is, now this it could be. So if there's a situation that doesn't even have anything to do with your relationship, And you guys, you don't even know why you guys are going through what you're going through. They may see something a certain way or have stumbled upon something. I don't care if they sneaking and snooping, but the way they see you is, or what they'd like from this is for you to face up to a situation. Now feel free to exchange the roles, but they may want the truth, or for you to stand on what you said, or something like that. So that's very interesting. The next card that we have represents the aspect of your relationship to consider. And you have the Four of Wands. So there was something that happened. It was an event. For others of you, the direction that it's going to take, planning, preparation, dating. Okay. Now, some of you that thought automatically an engagement. Well, we got a date first. With the Four of Wands, that's literally an invite of some sort. So an invitation, an event, an occasion, something that's already happened could be here. So it's like considering what happened that day, that moment, this engagement, which could either be like an actual engagement, because here's the ring. Somebody may have a ring on their mind. I don't know. Ain't no ring over there. And it's a young energy. Somebody could have, I don't want to say have broken up, but if somebody's defensive, defending taking a stance on what they believe, especially in their communication style, then there's that. I feel one of you may want this more of like this Ten of Pentacles energy. I don't know if it's like a life partner, blended families, but I'm feeling like from the King of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, it's given, like if I squint my eyes, it's supposed to be like this Ten of Pentacles situation, but ain't no pentacles. There aren't any children. I don't see nobody, no ancestor passing nothing down, no estate or property. It's like building. It's a promise, but there's that, it ain't, you see it, right? Now the outcome, we have the Knight of Rods, which is the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight of Wands for a relationship talks about adventure and excitement, and under the Four of Wands it could talk about courting, and I think that could be challenging for the King of Pentacles because again, this is a solid, stable, practical, long-term sort of thing that's consistent, my way, wisdom, I've done this, trust me. There's no spontaneity or much adventure and excitement or passion. Thrill seeking is possibly this energy. It could also be connected to Sagittarius, which is past life, karmic, possibly. Now two two knights could represent two different directions, and the outcome and the direction, I don't know. I just don't think that these two things are in alignment, where one is open to learn and listen, and the other is good time, not a long time. Could be even some age differences here, because I'm noticing you got kings and queens, and then you have the knight's energy. So there's that. It doesn't mean that the relationship may not work, or that it's even a relationship at all, because for some of you it's just like, where is this going? That conversation that could establish like, what we doing? Now someone may have their heart on the knight. He may be an object of your affection or the centerpiece of a creative project that's underway. So for some of you, like I said, with this Ten of Pentacles, that's like family business, that's like life partner. You don't have to be entrepreneurs, you could be teachers, but it's just like something that you do and build upon together. The Knight of Wands in like this position is not long term. It's not giving commitment. It just says that somebody has their eyes on this individual, and whatever lesson that's to be learned is about to happen. And that's very interesting because some of you, if you're in a marriage and it's like, tell me about this relationship, there's the ring, there's a change that has, sparked your interest in checking love readings on YouTube to see something that we could be curious about in regard to a matter that's happened in the past, something that's currently on our heart, or in the future, like where the rest of the stuff at. Because if you've already had this, an engagement, an event, a wedding, okay, because some of you, it's like there, ring, wedding, 2 people, but nobody's here. Somebody could be standing their ground on a situation that another person is ready to move forward on, and now, and it's a lot of wands, which is a lot of action. But when it comes to the needs aren't really in an action form. It's like communication or transformation, right? So it's like, tell me what you want. Tell me what, what we're doing or whatever. So the questions that someone could have on their mind is like, how are we growing and developing? And is there a risk that I'm taking? It also talks about investments. Like the Queen of Pentacles is being looked at sometimes as an investment. So someone could be weighing up an investment that they're making into a situation. Now, I know that, like I said, 77 could be the one. All right. Or it means the Magician is involved and there's an opportunist that sees this as the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, who is a lesson that could spark growth and change and create like a very bright future, right, for the next relationship. And it also is a contractual situation where either there's a literal contract and you guys are legally married, or there's this spiritual binding to something physical, an understanding of some sort. You guys don't have any cups for a love reading. A lot of wands. And not passionate wands. This one's cool, like the wedding, but how many Knight of Wands have you seen at a wedding? Unless you've met this person at a wedding. Or you watching movies and want this rom-com thing where 2 people that are perfect for each other meet at an event, just hanging out, having fun, starting with dating, and now are starting to get curious about if it could withstand time or this thing. Okay, so we can shuffle out a couple of things to see on your end what Spirit could have. And we have the World card, which talks about confidence. I don't know why I keep going like, it talks about confidence, completion, feeling whole. Now, sometimes with this World card, it does talk about distance and travel. Okay, and it's like traveling and communicating or trying to decide, making a decision. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Cups. So finally a cup. Okay, communicating about how I feel. And you have the Page of Coins. So it talks about an alliance. This could even be a friendship. The World card can sometimes in a love reading point to something being over as soon as it starts. And the completion of a cycle. So your card is the World card. Now, if this person completes you and makes you feel whole, that's how you feel. But that card was specifically like a message from Spirit. His is the 5 of Wands and the Moon with the Knight of Cups at the bottom and the 8 of Swords. So, this 8 of Swords is not the best environment. The Knight of Cups is a little flaky. The 5 of Wands just talks about competitive, defensive. You know what I'm saying? And she's turned looking at the future. The situation is currently requiring the present. Somebody's looking forward in the future. Now you're in the distant future. and he's more, or it's he, she, shit, I don't know what y'all be up to, who I'm talking to. Someone's in like a more immediate future, someone's in the way distant, far off future, and the relationship itself requires the wisdom from the past to properly plan, date, or execute what's happening in the present, because there's a lot of speed and a lot of action. All right, now for the actual outcome with the Knight of Wands here, I did want to see like more on why the Knight of Wands, outside of what I said. Yes, meals. And you got it's crossing the Death card. You got the Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Nine of Wands. So it'll take like a lot of perseverance. You have to have a common goal. I don't know if okay. So for some of you guys, there may be a common goal, and it's the Pentacle. It could be marriage is the common goal. It also just talks about two contracts, two people learning a lesson through a relationship. It doesn't mean that you got the same lesson to learn, but it's necessary. And then you got the Chariot, which says that to reach this goal, both people have to focus on the goal. You focused on the goal. The relationship is requiring the other party to focus. And I don't know if they're doing that, because you got the Ace of Swords too. So, and they see that like you're focused on something that makes sense. Others of you maybe not, because we want a speed race, and or we cut somebody off as soon as we recognize their red flag or a reminder of the past, which is that Knight of Wands, and we know what it looked like. And that's impressive. That means you are smart and wise, like this King of Pentacles, where you've learned from the past and are applying what you've learned to your situations, which could save you some time, which is why this Eight of Wands and the World card is here. Now, if this is like someone that lives at a distance from you in even another country, and you feel like this could be the one, you know, I feel that it could be a Scorpio, and the Death card doesn't represent for you transformation, change, or an ending. It's like you are like, you really like this Scorpio or this person. Now, being that the Death card is a major and the Knight of Wands is a minor, it talks about leaving behind old things. So the outcome, leaving something behind, and the old thing, it could be the behavior, someone thinking they know it all, the defensiveness, the competitiveness, because we got two strong energies. The only thing that's different is possibly how we go about exuding that strong energy. Make sure you're doing what you're doing now is not based on old attachments. So when I talk about codependency, expectations, contractual situations, there's that. Now, for some of you, a transformation may happen within this relationship that leads to more of an adventure. If you feel like y'all need to renew some vows, okay, you want to upgrade your ring, take a trip, go on a vacation, got some anniversary coming up, and stand on what you said, you know, your approach on what you're asking for is a little bit, or the person, whatever they're asking for, requires this competitive energy and this frivolous fighting like kids. Excuse me, no disrespect, but the Five of Wands sometimes does represent like me walking into a daycare and the kids turn up shit. So it's just like something that people would say, oh, you know, there's like an excuse for it. And then the Seven of Wands is like, there's no excuse type deal. So this isn't a personal reading, and I'm picking up on like at least 4 kind of situations. So just be patient with me. And since some of you had the Page of Cups, this just talks about a transformational period in your emotions and your creative life, endings and rebirths, emotional growth and exploration of your inner child. So that karmic energy, past energy, what I've always wanted, and what we actually looking at is just a lot in that, because it's like your own personal spiritual journey or theirs in there. If there are any people in separation, because I didn't ask any questions for that, there could have been a release and someone's trying to understand whether or not they should have. And what in the relationship may have aided it in running its course. And it could be pointing to expectations. I already said that though. And belief systems that no longer serve a person, which cause somebody to let go of somebody. Because it's like, I don't want that anymore. I'm not even looking for that. And the nature of how we started was based on that. And I ain't there right now. And maybe the relationship didn't transform. It just stopped where it was. So there's that. Yeah, there's a strong person here. That's probably the Queen of Pentacles. Because I was looking at the King of Pentacles getting clarifiers, and that's the current state of the situation. So someone with the Strength card just talks about havoc or harmony, grace or ego. Then you got the Six of Coins, where what's being reciprocated, what's being given, what's being received. And usually with the Three of Pentacles, there's a collaboration. So the collaboration of these three pentacles are very important, which means like the giver, the receiver, and what's not being accommodated. So that's important for someone. And then the Five of Cups, of course, is negativity. You know, if you're in a situation that leads to anxiety and depression, others just feel like they've missed an opportunity somewhere else or within the situation that's already passed, doing that reflecting on what caused it to take its course. For you guys, I feel like it was the give and take in the situation. And I'm looking at a lot of females in these cards, which would be, like I said, the Lady in the Strength card. It's like, damn, imagine that in this Strength card, usually it's like the guide or a feminine energy, and then it's the Lion who's guided by Grace. Well, Grace is bent over this trap. Like, I tried to, I tried to tame this lion, get it to see, rub his back, keep the lion, approachable. And honey, somebody, not you, in this situation, they just, the guy dressed dirty. And she just like about to call on God or just the higher power, just source. I tried, so I don't know. I've never even looked at the Strength card like that. But baby girl, if it isn't the guide itself, like having a what the fuck moment about the situation, it just shows that tremendous strength may be needed to make compromise or get through this lesson of reciprocity. Reciprocity could point to a person learning self-love and finally seeing that in this situation and past ones, who's giving what and what's being returned. Is that a pattern? If not, in multiple relationships, in this one. And karmics that appear as the King and the Queen of Pentacles, they probably have had lifetimes together. They're probably going to grow each other up. Some people have children with each other, some don't. But definitely a new perspective, and then standing on your belief system so you'll really get to know what you truly believe in and want through this relationship for some of you guys. So I do hope that it helps.